when Megan and Sadat arrived, they were very suspicious of one another. They were not in a particular mood to make concessions, and it turned out that instead of meeting for 2 or 3 days the way Carter thought it might go, we ended up spending 13 days. And there were moments that were very difficult, and I think it was probably as much Carter's determination not to let it fail and not to let things just sort of fade away. Carter, unlike some of the rest of us, was a genuine believing Christian. He spent his spare time reading the Bible. For him, the Israeli-Palestinian arena was not just a strategic arena, it was the Holy Land. He knew the stories of the Bible better than almost anyone else. And I think for him, the idea that he could be the president who would help bring peace to the Holy Land actually mattered.
He saw opportunity. After those 2 historic visits by Anwar Sadat and Menachem Begin to their, to each other's countries, the peace process actually floundered. And it was Carter and his team with my father and Cy Vance and others who came in and said, hey, we need to keep this alive. Why don't you all come over? Yeah, I just wanted to add, it just didn't happen over 14 days or 13 days. It took a couple years of real effort. It took a lot of courage, a lot of vision, a lot of commitment, and a lot of risk-taking by all the parties who were involved. And the result was one of the truly historic peace treaties of history. Over 13 days, they hammered out basically a peace accord that transformed the very nature and the balance of power and the tensions within, not just between Israel and Egypt, but across the entire Middle East. The characteristics of Carter's foreign policy was the introduction of human rights as a pillar of U.S. foreign policy. That was something my father was very, 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 very proud of. And ultimately, that pillar turned to be one of our kind of most decisive elements when it came to defeating what was then the Soviet Union. Courses are taught on Camp David Accords because it was such a profound and historic breakthrough. The ultimate impact of the Camp David Accords was, first, it normalized relations between Israel and Egypt. It transformed what was a deep enmity, an animosity, a hatred, into one that became a pillar of peace and a demonstration that reconciliation between peoples can be achieved if there's a will and a determination and some ingenuity.